Alright guys, how you guys doing? In this video I'm going to be giving you a review of my Canon KISS X4, which I purchased back in December 2010. Now one of the reasons for this review being so late is because this is my first DSLR camera, so I really wanted to test it out thoroughly before I kind of put my views across for it. This is not going to be your typical kind of review where I give you all the specs and the rundown of it. You guys already know, you're watching this video, you know what the Canon KISS X4 is. Now, some of you might not know what the Canon KISS X4 is, what on earth is this model number. In essence, the Canon KISS X4 is known as the T2i in the United States, it's known as the 550D in Europe, and in Japan and the Far East it's known as the Canon KISS X4. And the reason for that is, it's made for the local market. And to put that into perspective, if you buy a can of Coke here in the UK, it's going to have English marketing, of course, because it's made for people in Britain. If you buy Coke in the Middle East, it's going to be in Arabic. Again, it's made for the local market. And in essence, this is where the Canon KISS X4 comes in. It's for the Japanese market. And no, I do not understand Japanese, although I wish I did. The reason why I went with the Japanese model is simply because it was cheaper. So I picked this up for £520, whereas here in the UK at the time it was £699. So in terms of style, finish, size and weight of the Canon KISS X4, previous to this I had a lot of point and shoot cameras, a lot of Sony Cybershots, and when I came to this it was noticeably heavier because of course point and shoot cameras are very light, and previous to this I also had the Panasonic SD60, which I still happen to have, and that is lightweight as well. It's a camcorder, full 1080p HD. So when I came to this, it did take a good few days till I got used to the weight. The grip on this is absolutely beautiful, as you guys know. It's got a kind of a rubber grip here on the front. On the right hand side here we've got a place for your SD cards, or SDHC or SDXC. I've got a class 10, which I believe is the fastest kind of card you have when it comes to high speed or high capacity cards. Simply pops in right here in the corner. On the left hand side you've got another compartment with more ports. You've got a microphone port. This is where the DSLR truly shows its colours. No other camera that I've had in the past allows you to connect an external mic in, whereas this Canon does, which is amazing because it kind of takes it to the next level, or takes the audio, shall I say, to the next level. Not that the internal microphone of this is bad, it's quite good, but for those times where you want to be interviewing people, or you're out in the street, or generally if you want to look a bit more professional, you're at exhibitions and so on, then you can connect an external mic in. You've also got a micro USB port which allows you to connect the wire which is supplied. You can connect it to an external monitor, which is pretty good because all my videos that I record, I've got a monitor right beside my iMac, and it allows me to see if I'm in focus, if I'm in frame, more importantly, and if everything's generally good, so it's good that way. Also, you can connect it to your MacBook or your iMac or your computer, and you can, with the software supplied, you can get a live view shot. And lastly, you've got an HDMI port again to connect it to an external display. And on the bottom here, you've got the compartment for the battery. If there's one thing I would recommend you getting once you've got your camera, especially if you're going to rely on this heavily, and if you are going to do what I do, which is record loads of videos. It's very annoying, and I'm still trying to get used to it. What I mean by that is, all my previous cameras, I've had an AC plug into it, so if the battery runs out, you connect it to the mains and you've still got your camera running. Whereas this Canon KISS X4, when the battery runs out, you've got to wait for it to charge and then you can start shooting videos again, which, needless to say, if you're halfway through a video, you see the battery indicator lighting up, indicating it's about to drain. It's a pain, so do invest in a second battery, especially if you're going to use it. That said, the battery on this is quite powerful for now. Of course, batteries in general for any device do drain after a while because of so many cycles, so do invest in a second battery. Now some of you are going to be asking, well, what lens are you using with the Canon KISS X4? It's a stock lens, the 18-55. This is what the package came with, and I must say I'm very impressed. Apparently the lens is the most important part of the actual camera itself. The body isn't that important, but lens come in, go up to thousands and thousands of pounds, which is insane. There's two switches on the front of the lens. You've got focus and stabilizer. For focus, I've got mine set to manual focus, despite some people telling me to start off with autofocus. I really didn't want to start with autofocus. I've just spent £500 in a camera, and I don't really want to go to baby level, if that's what you want to call it. So I started off with manual focus, and I'm thoroughly pleased with some of the pictures that you're going to see in a minute that I took with the manual focus. And stabilizer is set to on. Now comes the juicy part where I tell you what I use my camera for, give you some test shots that I've personally taken and some test videos. And before I do that, some of you are going to be asking, well, where's the actual specs of the camera? Since this camera is about a year old and most of you watching this video already have seen similar review videos, you guys all know what the specs are. If not, I'll put them in the description, but there's no point in wasting any more time on the specs. But what I'm using this camera for primarily, as insane as it sounds, I'm using it for video. And all my recent YouTube videos that I've shot is with the 550D or the Canon KISS-X4. I find that the colours of this camera are truly superb. You can choose 720p or 1080p. And it's just, everything is just so superb, and with focus you can have the background kind of blurred. And all my recent videos, those of you who follow my channel know that my recent videos have been quite good in terms of quality, or some of you might beg to differ. But what I'll do is I'll put annotation on the screen, you can go directly to the videos that I've shot with this. In terms of pictures, I have shot a lot of pictures, as you can see, and I was surprised as to the outcome of these, because I never imagined I would be able to take such pictures, especially being a beginner or a noob at DSLRs. It was just shocking. I mean, here's a traditional Scottish meal, fish and chips, and the focus on this fish is absolutely stunning. One of the best fishes I've ever had, by the way. Secondly, snow, as you can see, the colours have just come out so well, the icicles and everything. Again, I've got a full list, I've got loads of photos that I've taken with this on Flickr, on my Flickr page. Again, the link is in the description. But guys, what I want to hear from you is, have you got this camera? Have you got the next level up? Are you thinking of getting the T3i, which is the next level up from this T2i that I've got, which basically has the same gut in essence, but it's got a tilt screen, which I think will be very useful for those of you who are trying to get this for video only. I wish I would have got the tilt one, but that said, I'm really happy because I've got a television in my room, so I can hook it up and so on. But any of you guys thinking of getting this, have you got the KISS-X4? I bought mine from Digital Rev for £530, probably one of the best purchases I've made in 2010, alongside the MacBook Air. If there's one regret that I have, it's probably not getting the camera earlier. Initially I thought, the reason why I never got a DSLR before was because I thought the learning curve on it would be huge. How wrong was I? The moment I had it in my hand, I never let go of it. You know, practice, practice and practice is probably the best advice I can give you. And this is coming from someone who's totally new to DSLRs. There's no need to buy books or tutorials. Don't pay for any books or anything that's pointless, or magazines. Watch YouTube videos, there's some good guys, Digital Rev and so on. Follow some guys on iTunes podcast. But in essence, again, take it into the field, use it as hell, and you'll work your way around it. The moment you kind of fit in with the settings, that will be you sorted. But guys, that's it for this review. I hope it's been useful. If you've got this camera yourself, you've got some test shots, reviews yourself, videos, post them down below because I would be interested in seeing them as usual. If you can leave a comment or like the video, that would be great. If not an issue. And guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in another life. We have a new sponsor here at Eyeglass Sweden, looking to send a package at the lowest price possible. Simple, visit parcelmonkey.co.uk, follow these 4 simple steps, have the package collected from your doorstep, and then sit back and relax.